What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. There's been an ongoing argument forever about capacity versus shot placement. Now, when it comes into magnified optics or putting any other kind of optic on your system, you really do need to zero that in. Now, I've always been the type of person who just went out there, got in the prone, and I zeroed whatever optic I was using on whatever rifle I was using. Now, lately, I've been kind of delving back into some LPVOs and some more long-range style stuff, and I was really looking for kind of a nice, budget-friendly, comfortable option to not only store, but to maintain and keep with me when I wanted to go and zero a new optic. Now, if you're one of those people out there that's looking for something like that, an easy, quick solution, let me know in the comments down below and definitely hit that subscribe button. Now, any of my hunters out there or my snipers and everything, you know shot placement is key. So how do you get there? Obviously, you have to have a quality system, a quality optic, and then you have to ensure that that thing is zeroed exactly where it needs to be. And then ultimately you need to know and understand the capabilities of your chosen optic. And most of the people I know that are serious into hunting or doing any of that cool guy stuff, they use some form of rest or something, zero that in, then they confirm in the prone or whatever position they're going to be shooting from to ensure that they are exactly where they need to be with their zero. Now, I definitely don't want this to get into where you should zero or how you should zero, because there's a lot of different zero distances and styles. And that's really going to be up to you, the end user, to determine based on your optic, style of shooting, the distances you will be shooting at. So for my small, compact, and fairly budget-friendly option, I found this guy right here, which is the Caldwell shooting turret. Now, when I was looking for something, I did pretty much what you guys are doing. I asked some friends, and then I went and I started to look on YouTube to kind of get some ideas. And I actually came across this one, had been reviewed or kind of unboxed by Caldwell32. So if you don't know who that guy is, he's got a really cool channel. I just kind of like his demeanor and what he does, and I think he puts out really good information. So I learned about this from him, and I went out and I put it into practice, as you can see here in this video I will throw up. And I found it to be a really great option, because some of these things can, one, get overly huge, overly expensive, overly heavy, and just be a real pain in the butt to store. Because remember, I still have to put this somewhere where I'm not using it. And you've probably seen it back up there on top of the safe when it's not in use, which is, one, kind of cool because I can put a rifle on it, but two, it's good because I have a very easy place to store this. Now, even if you don't have something to put it on, this is something that's so easy you can undo one of the legs and literally put it on a top closet somewhere. Whereas other ones that I know of that are literally like 3 and 4 feet long, and they may be cool and they may lock that rifle in there a little bit better, but I didn't need something that big, nor did I want something that big. So I ordered this Caldwell turret up from Amazon. I want to say it was about 87 bucks, which I thought was pretty dang reasonable based on the Caldwell32 unboxing video. And I found that I was quite surprised. He wasn't lying. This thing is solid. It's got some weight to it. It clamps down nicely. We're definitely going to take a look at a couple of rifles and how they fit in here. Then we'll talk about that overall build quality and my opinion on it. Now, the whole reason I was looking for this setup, like I said, I was getting into some LPVOs and some more long range stuff, but specifically this arrowhead from Swamp Fox. They sent this out to the channel for testing. If you haven't seen the video for this, I'll leave it down below. I'm actually pretty surprised by this optic, especially for the price point. But it was just a solid option, and it fit when I needed it to do, being for that size. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this thing, kind of show you, it's already together, but I'm just kind of show you how it goes together, because it is very simple. You cannot mess this up. Everything only goes in one way, and I want to say there was only like 6 Allen head bolts that you put in there, and you're pretty much done, and then you can get out there and get your stuff zeroed in. So if you guys like what's going on here and learning about this stuff, make sure you hit the subscribe button for me, turn the bell notification icons on, and give that video a big like. It really does help. And I really want to give a shout out to Johnny B, Johnny Appalachia, No Step Johnny, for sending in the real cool shirt to wear here, the No Step George Washington shirt. He's doing really good things over there with Shall Not Comply. He's got some pretty cool swag, so definitely check him out. We're going to go ahead and get into this turret right now. All right, let's jump into this Caldwell Precision turret. Now let's talk about how this thing goes together first. You're going to see Allen heads here, 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 and one on the front leg. Very simple, everybody. You put the legs in place and you put the Allen heads in. You cannot mess that up. The legs are labeled. Torque them down, you are good to go. Now the turret itself right here will not be installed. You do have to put those on there yourself, and there's just going to be 4 Allen heads that you can see right up underneath there, and you just leave it loose so you can kind of position that to where you can be able to actually get to the Allens while you're putting it together. And they do supply the wrenches. So let's go ahead and talk about how this thing works and how it functions. So in the rear here, and the reason it's called a turret is because it has turrets. So it kind of makes sense, right? These will come together, and you can see here, it's just a quick turn of that turret, and it lowers and raises this depending on the style that you are putting in here. So I put an AR in here, I put 1022s, PC carbines in here. Most of your standard style stocks and ARs are going to fit in here. As far as the top portion goes, right here, you just spin that wheel and it's gonna open and close. So very nice rubber in here. It clamps down quite well. Be careful, you don't wanna over crank like a quad rail or something like that with this. Wouldn't be a good idea. Just enough firm to where it holds it in place. So as you can see, it does swivel depending on the position that you are in, and that is controlled by this side knob right here, which you can tighten down. Does a really good job of locking that in. Now, if you really crank on this, yes, you will be able to turn it. It's not meant to be a cranked so hard you can't turn it at all. Your adjustment for elevation is going to be right here on this side turret, which is the lower one, a little bit smaller. And it's going to allow that to rock back and forth now to kind of more better suit or better fit whatever style of rifle you are putting there. And all this thing is super easy to use. If you're a little bit of a crazy elevation like I was the first day out there using this, the front leg actually extends as well, which is going to give you a higher elevation to work with whatever you are using out there on the range. Great stuff here in all. I think it's a really good option. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Well, there's just not much else to say besides that this thing is just a really solid option. But why? Now for me, it came down to a couple things. Well, more than a couple. Weight, size, storage, and stability. It's stable. It's as stable as it needs to be to really zero in a rifle. It's very, very storable. You can stick this thing pretty much anywhere, even put together, lean it up against something, and it's gonna be good to go and leave it in one piece. It's got some good options in there with the turrets being able to lock, being able to rotate, being able to extend that front leg, and being able to lift up that rear pad to fit a multitude of different stock styles. And then ultimately, it is very easy to use for the end user, very easy to put together, and at 87 bucks wasn't bad, and that's at the time of filming this video because prices can change. Always remember when you do this and you're out there and you zero, when you bore sight, and then you go ahead and you lock this thing in here and you zero, always reconfirm in your shooting position of choice, whether it's prone or whatever, just to make sure you are spot on without that thing being in a rest or a turret like this one. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for me, turn those bell notification icons on, and give this video a like because it really does help the channel. Then I'll have some shirts and all that stuff coming for you guys to support me as well. You guys get out there and have some fun. I will see you guys on the next one.